I'm very pleased to be joined here by Mr. Vicky Jaiswal. Across India's financial sector, Mr. Jaiswal built capabilities that has a lasting impact. From leading learning and organizational development at L&T Finance to laying the foundation in training and digital learning at ICICI Prudential, Mr. Jaiswal's craft succession planning and change leadership that turns strategy into everyday performance. Welcome, sir. We are pleased to have you with us here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naveen.
So I would like to start this conversation by telling a little bit about me. My name is Naveen Matthew, and even I am having 4 years of experience in the BFSI sector. I work with EY and I worked as a tax analyst.
Wow.
So from my time in the Big Four, the best HR teams were the ones that felt a step ahead of the business. Being the strategic HR leader with innovative and future-focused mindset, what does futuristic HR looks like to you, and how do you practice that in L&T Finance?
So, see, the future of HR, the way I see it, and the way we are trying to kind of build that is that the workforce dynamics will change in the next few years. The technology is changing. There is a shift which is happening with AI. The workforce, again, like I said, that whole new Gen Z, Gen Y, Alpha, those workforce, are going to be dominantly there in our place.
Yes.
Now, with that kind of a future, it is very important to envisage, what we need to do now to be able to prepare them for, optimum level of performance, building career aspirations, career journeys, learning journeys for these kind of workforce. And the steps that we're going to do now, is what is going to make a big impact in the future. Okay.
Yes.
Having said that, today we at HR, we are quite aligned to the organizational goals. Okay. And strategically, the reason we say we are strategic in our interventions is because we are quite aligned to how the organization performs. Yes. And that's the bottom line. And how well we are able to engage and retain our employees.
Yes.
Okay. So with these kind of dynamic changes that we envisage in the future, we are taking steps to be ready proactively and be able to create that environment for that kind of workforce which is going to come.
Yes.
All right. Some of the steps, for example, that we're taking now is, say for one, we have a curve philosophy, which is a people philosophy.
Okay.
So curve is nothing but a people philosophy to create happiness. Okay. To enable them to be staying connected.
Yes.
Understanding them. Okay. Giving respect. Have them give a sense of purpose and respect. And that level of engagement that keeps them going. Yes. All right. So with that kind of philosophy, we are aligning all our HR activities to prepare the future, to prepare that future workforce so that we are able to achieve our goals and our performance milestones of the future.
Yes, that's very well said, sir. So even a well-designed strategic HR management can definitely improve the visions of a firm. So I would like to know how you can translate this vision to outcomes, because HR strategy lands only when the metrics does. So in your current role, which two impact metrics do you prioritize the most, and why do you do that?
See, very simple. Like I said, the most important thing is the organizational performance. And the two metrics, if you ask me, that's on the top of our mind that we align all our HR activities. One is employee performance productivity, and second one is employee retention and level of engagement. Okay. These two things are very close, and all the entire alignment of what we do in HR is around these two things, these two parameters.
Yes.
If employees are able to do well, okay, they stay. We are able to create career journeys for them. We are able to create sort of personalized career paths for them and create value for them, not just to perform but to get growth, to get interventions at the right time. From an engagement point of view, again, now with the new set of workforce, okay, the whole engagement dynamics is changing. We are creating very robust listening frameworks where we give opportunities to listen to our employees. We reach out to them. Our team goes to branch visits and we sit with these employees. We hear them, and we do it continuously. Okay. Now that is the level of engagement which enables us to identify pockets of concerns, pockets of stress, okay, and take proactive steps in being able to kind of take corrective actions, okay, so that we do not kind of end up in any sort of a bitter situation. So I think the two metrics at the forefront for us would be productivity and engagement and retention, and we are investing heavily in terms of from an HR point of view in driving these two metrics.
Yeah, that's very interesting, sir, because even as MBA students, we are learning a lot about how psychological contracts works more than the monetary benefits for the employees.
So true.
That's very true. And I also remember something that you discussed in the panel, which we had before, about balancing the adaptability and stability. In financial services, of all the services, HR sits at the crossroad of growth and governance. So how do you reconcile compliance and risk learning with sales productivity and outcome so that both can advance together?
So compliance and regulatory learnings are non-negotiable. Okay. For us, a culture of compliance is what we are trying to build. And we are setting a narrative which is of zero tolerance.
Yes.
Okay. Which means, people in a financial services sector, if they are not compliant, the very fabric on which we operate is trust of our customers. And non-compliance, actually dents that whole trust, and that is absolutely not acceptable. So,
Yes.
For simple, things like understanding compliance, governance, those kind of learnings are mandated as a part of our mandatory training and learning. And right from the bottom to the top, everyone is required to complete those kind of learnings. And they not just do it like over a period, they do it every year. Okay. Which means the repetition is intended to intensify that message and learning that this is important and non-negotiable. Okay. So compliance areas like, whether it is operational compliance, whether it is regulatory in nature, risk adherence, these are very, very important for us, and those are top priority. Okay. For the rest of driving sales productivity, I think that is absolutely there, but it cannot come at the cost of causing the compliance framework, and that we are very clear.
Okay, sir. And I agree to that. The sector being dynamic of all, managers and the team field members must adopt new ways of learning, and they have to bring in new innovations to sustain in this field. So what has proved most effective for driving sustained adoption of digital processes and tools, especially in your experience in the financial services?
Okay. So see, I'll start with giving an example. So now we know that artificial intelligence, machine learning, and there's so much happening across the globe, and every organization is expected to adopt, train, get the workforce ready to be able to adopt such kind of technologies, use them, improve efficiency, productivity, etc. What we're doing is, we are taking small steps in terms of, being able to democratize the whole learning process of it. Okay. What we're saying is that, we're communicating that why this change is important. We're talking that, how adoption will bring efficiency, not just at an organizational level, but at an individual level. What we are trying to communicate is that such kind of new digital skill sets, digital fluidity is not a threat to an employee's jobs, but it's an enabler.
Yes.
Is going to make them even more, productive, even more efficient, and being able to do a lot more in, lesser time.
Yes.
Okay. Now that communication, through bite size, through various modes, is what is setting the narrative for them, and that adoption is gradually happening. And we probably do the same, and will do the same, repeatedly for every new change, whether it is through technology or regulatory, or say from, global disruptions or economic changes. That's the way to kind of, if you are able to show opportunities in terms of these times of change and adversity, employees show the, receptiveness in understanding the meaning of that, why we are doing it, the purpose of it, and they adopt it well.
Yes. Even that's the main topic, that hot topic right now, that whether AI would replace humans, especially in the employment and all that.
Absolutely.
And I believe that tools do help, but behavior change is the multiplier. It is the factor that can change the culture of an organization. That's the same thing that I believe too. So when driving behavior change at scale, what are the change management principles that you rely on most? And what are the common pitfalls that a manager should avoid?
Okay. So the change management principle that we adopt is to create stakeholder buy-in and create sponsorship from the leadership team.
Okay.
When any change is happening, and if that communication comes from the top, from the leaders, with clearly stipulating the purpose of why that is happening, I think the understanding and the adoption is much faster.
Yes.
Okay. And employees see that, those kind of changes are getting adopted right from the top, and it is cascading. Okay. And when they see that, my manager, my supervisor, they're also starting to adopt and follow, they eventually understand that it's important, and why it is important, the most important aspect. And I think they fall in line in terms of, learning or adopting that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel managing or getting used to all the skill developments for the employees, I feel it will create a sort of workforce resilience as well for them. So it's the same thing that you discussed in the panel before, and I think a couple of panel members also acknowledged that, where workforce resilience comes with psychological safety and skill adaptability.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So now, in the similar lines, I just want to open this out for the MBA audience out there, and because many of us will start with less formal authority, but with lot of deliverables and big duty responsibility that we have to fill. So what approaches do you recommend for building credibility and stakeholder alignment in the initial year for an early MBA graduate?
So for the new MBA grads joining organizations, okay, I think one thing amongst many things, I think if you're asking me to point out one thing, I think an enterprising mindset helps tremendously. And I'll take a moment to tell you why. See, enterprising mindset is, that mindset of an entrepreneur, okay, where you see the business, understand the business equation,
Okay.
And try to understand how are you contributing
Yes.
and why it is important.
Yeah.
When an individual understands that, okay, he understands the nuances of the business that he is into. It could be anything, financial services or say technology services, doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you understand the business equation, you will understand the real role that you're playing, and that changes a lot of things. that sense of ownership, accountability, purpose develops. Okay, and I think that contributes to their success, early success in a big way. Okay, so to summarize, when an MBA grad joins, whichever organization you're joining, understand, the financials, understand the business, understand the products, understand the department that you are joining, how that is contributing to the whole scheme of things. And once you have that understanding with a mindset that if this was my business, how would I run it?
Yeah.
Like I said, things will change, and that whole sense of ownership, accountability, and purpose will develop automatically.
Yes, sir. That insight makes it very clear. Today's changing environment requires new students or the early graduates to expand and adopt to new skills. And even we learned about this that as an emerging leader, the two main skills that we can have, one would be empathy and the other would be, just like you told, is understanding the business that you're into.
Absolutely.
So looking ahead, what is the one shift in the HR practice should MBA students prepare for, and how should they upskill for it?
I think the one shift that they should prepare for is to kind of be ready to understand adversities that's going to come in the future. Okay. And we were talking about resilience in the discussion in the panel morning. I think resilience is also a behavior that an HR professional has to demonstrate. Okay, it cannot be that the workforce is expected to demonstrate resilience. I think the HR, and especially the new MBA grads who are going to join, I think their ability in terms of managing resilience, managing adversities, and being able to look at it as an opportunity. So they need to reframe the whole adversity as an opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at adversity and say that, what is my opportunity to learn something new from this adversity? What is the opportunity that is going to give me exposure that nobody else would? So people who are able to manage and navigate through, the crisis like COVID, today I think they've learned valuable lessons. Okay, and I think that reframing really wills, and I believe that that's the one shift which is going to play a vital role in an HR's life.
That's interesting, sir. I believe these statements could be an eye-opener for all the students watching this. It's high time for us as emerging managers to adopt these practices for better people management. So we are coming to the end of this conversation. So before that, I would like to wrap this up with a couple of rapid-fire questions. First answer that is coming to your mind, even if it's 1 or 2 words, it's good. So whatever that is coming to your mind, it's fine. Whenever you're ready, sir.
We can start.
Okay. So the first question would be tell me about a metric that HR overuses and one metric that HR underuses.
Overuse, employee satisfaction score.
Okay.
Underused, talent supply matrix.
Okay. All right. And the second question would be one myth about HR that you would retire.
That HR is a cost center and it's an administrative role.
Okay, even I was wrong about that. And the last one would be a prediction about HR roles by 2027 that you stand by.
I think the biggest transformation will come from the technology disruption and the new landscape in the global arena. Okay, and I think I would want to predict that the level of resilience that HR needs to show in such times of adversities will need to be very, very high.
Okay.
And that is what I would predict, in terms of the year 2027. Okay. We need to be prepared for such kind of large scale adversities and ability to navigate them and still thrive and do well.
Okay, sir. That's great. So I think we have come to the end of our conversation. Mr. Jaiswal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Your insights on building learning culture and balancing compliance and performance at L&T and beyond was truly inspiring. And to our listeners, stay tuned for more conversations where you can hear leaders shaping the future of work. Until then, keep learning and stay curious. Thank you.
Thank you.